Hey guys, welcome to Chat with KST. It's your girl Kay, and today we're going to be discussing celebrities and their controversies that they have going on in the media. But before we do jump into the celebrities, I just do want to advise our YouTube family that this is a podcast, so unfortunately, you won't be able to get much of any visuals on the screen. But stick around for the podcast because it's going to be lit anyway. All right, so let's jump into it. Now, Kanye West was recently seen working on his clothing line. He's putting in the work. We haven't been seeing him mixed up in media and controversies and all that stuff. He hasn't been saying all these controversial things. He's been keeping a low profile, and he was recently spotted out, working on his clothing brand, and he was seen working with his people and stuff like that. And I just feel like it's a good look seeing Kanye working on his clothing brand. Now let's move on to Little Baby and Jada Waiter. Now Jada Waiter and Little Baby have been spotted out at games. They've been spotted out together more frequently. And basically, what Jada Waiter was trying to say today, what she was trying to apply, was that she was indeed spending more time with Little Baby. Is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. I feel like Jada Waiter is able to do as she please, as any grown adult is able to do. If she wants to be with Little Baby, then be with Little Baby. If she doesn't want to be with Little Baby, then she shouldn't be with him. If she feels like he's finally showing and proving and being the man that she needs him to be, then who the hell is the fans to tell her not to be with her baby father? Like, I feel like this is something that she should do. So I also think that they're a good look in terms of not just the physical beauty of, okay, well, for the photo op. I just feel like it's a good look when you do have a person that you've had a child with, and you guys create a family, and it's not just a situation where, okay, well, we had a kid together, but we're gonna be have a separate households. I feel like it's always good when you do have a child to maintain that one household for that child, so they can see, not for the child, but just it benefits the child to see a two-parent household, right? So that is good, and I'm happy that Jada Waiter and Little Baby is working on their relationship. Now, I do want to play something for you guys from French Montana. French Montana is working on his documentary, so let me post a little clip from his documentary for you guys.
See, I'm really from Africa. I came over here from Africa to the hood, and I started this rap thing. And I'm gonna take it to the top. This is history you're looking at.
Us watching America as kids, they sell you the dream. They don't show you that behind those buildings, there's the nightmare part.
It's like gladiator school. You either prey or you're a predator.
All four of us had one rule. It was the grind of all grinds. I was an immigrant with no papers. I can't go to college. I can't get a job. My pop didn't like the way French was going, and he wanted to leave French. But I just remember my mother working 2-3 jobs. I walked in on my mother one time crying, praying. Don't want to see a mother like that. What other options you got? Hit the streets. Old slang, whatever we got, slang. Guns, go. Music.
As he was getting hotter in the streets, he turned into an artist. Next thing you know, we hooked up, we got to the studio, and we was like brothers.
At this time, me and Max be running the city.
It was him and his people against like whoever. This young, untouchable mob boss from New York.
Music controls the streets. I just see two dudes on the corner.
He's like, yo, bro, I gotta come in and tell you something crazy. They just shot your brother. From that point on, I just seen his whole life shift.
That was the breaking point. I gotta stop, and I gotta start building my empire for my family.
You are unforgettable.
Young was in a drought. The South was taking over.
Shot caller came out.
It was one of the biggest records. Everything he got, man, he earned it.
French Montana has been named the most streamed African-born artist.
Feeling like a fresh outfit. Imagine her being in the States alone. Imagine not seeing your brothers and sisters for 20-some years. My brother locked up first. Chinks had just died. Max B got 75 years. I was in the worst place you could be at. I met these kids.
It's not about the notes you can hit or the raps that you can write. It's just people have to believe something about you.
When my father left, part of me died. And I never looked back for that part.
This is history you're looking at.
All right, so that's the trailer for French Montana's documentary, and I want to say shout out to French Montana. Not all artists are able to do a documentary for themselves, and I do think it is about time that French Montana does do a documentary. We're able to see into his life and behind the scenes of who the artist actually is, because what we get to see on a surface level is basically 3 to 6 minutes of who the artist presents themselves to be on a produced track, right? On a produced video. And then they live these lifestyles that are literally produced by their PR agents and stuff like that. So being able to watch his documentary and see where he comes from, which parts of Africa he comes from. Some people will see French Montana, and due to his skin complexion, they will think like he's not African, or they'll probably think, oh wow, to know that he was African, because I didn't know that he was African until I heard it a couple years ago too. He's not, yes, that's not what you would normally think, you know what I mean? So it's just to show how sometimes how small-minded we are as human beings, and how much there is more about a person that we can learn about a person. So I look forward to seeing what his religion is like, what his religious practices are like, what it was like growing up with his mom, his dad, his brothers, get into how he developed to be the artist that he is today. So I look forward to seeing that. So shout out to French Montana on his documentary. Not many artists take the time out to do it, to produce it and get it done. So I'm happy that he has taken the time out to do it, produce it, and actually get the documentary done. There are people who pass on before they're able to do their documentaries, and then their stories never get to be told the way in which they want their stories to be told. Why? Because they're gone, right? So let's jump into Chance the Rapper and his wife. So Chance the Rapper was spotted out at Carnival. And when he was spotted out at Carnival, it was at, I don't even want to say it was Carnival, but he was spotted out, I think it was Carnival, dancing with these young ladies. And we were all wondering, like, isn't Chance the Rapper a married man? Why would Chance the Rapper be out here dancing with these girls like this, right? So first and foremost, the dancing with the girls being a married man, for me, I'm from Jamaica. That doesn't really bother us in Jamaica, because that's just a part of our culture. That's how we get down. It doesn't matter if you dance with him, even if he has a girlfriend. It's just, as so far as we're concerned, it's just a dance. But of course, American culture, it's a little bit different. Like, don't you dare dance with my husband and he's married, right? So that's the approach that the fans kind of took. And then his wife spoke out, and this is what his wife had to say. Oh my God, I've lived a very simple life. You can say, oh yes, at 13 this happened to me, and at 14, but those are facts, but the facts can obscure the truth. What it really what it really felt like. Every human being has paid the earth to grow up. Most people don't grow up. It's too damn difficult. What happens is most people get older. That's the truth of it. They honor their credit cards. They find parking spaces. They marry. They have the nerve to have children, but they don't grow up. Not really. They get older, but to grow up costs the earth. The earth. It means you take responsibility for the time you take up, for the space you occupy. It is serious business, and you find out what it costs, and what it costs us to love and to lose, to dare and to fail, and maybe even more to succeed. What it costs in truth, not superficial cost. Anybody can have that. I mean, in truth. So basically, his wife didn't quite feel that happy about the videos and about him dancing out and about with girls at carnival or at the event, at whatever event that was. My thing is, sis, just say that. Just say that, look, Chance, what are you doing? All this long speech about growing up and all of that. Like, as women, we need to stop it. These subliminal messages that we send, our passive aggressive behaviors, we need to stop it. Just say, Chance the Rapper, look, what are you doing out here with these women? Don't you have a family at home? Don't you have children at home? This subliminal message is a message that I feel like she shouldn't have put it on the internet, because honestly, the internet don't care to read this long paragraph that you gave us. We only care to see how you're gonna address Chance and him dancing on girls, and whether you cool with it or not. That's what we care to know. If you cool with it, then we cool with it. If you're not cool with it, then Chance, get it together. Go home, see your wife. You know what I mean? But to stretch it out and give us these long paragraphs about how Chance the Rapper ain't growing up. Girl, you knew he wasn't growing up a couple years ago. He still isn't growing up. So what's the problem? This is something that you know about your marriage, about your man. Go to therapy and work through that. But putting it online, I'm just like, oh, okay. But anyway, and again, this is Kay's just natural opinion and natural reaction to it. And of course, Chance, being the man that he is, posts his response to what his wife had to say, and this was his response.
My wife to death. I love everything about being fucking married, but I'll tell you this right now. We do fight a lot. We do argue all the time. If I've learned anything in 5 years of being married, is we're always working on me. You know? I love my wife to death.
So basically what Chance the Rapper had to say is, look, I'm tired of working on me. I'm always the problem in this marriage. I'm always the problem. It's always something that I do wrong that we got to fix in this marriage. Why is it always me that you got to fix? And I just feel like this is my commentary stepping in at this point. I just feel like sometimes as women, we got to ease up. We have to allow men to be men. If he's a married man and he's already at home and you know that he's not cheating and he's not doing all these different things, allow him to go out, have fun, and dance with chicks. Dance with them. As long as I know you coming home to me, that's all that matters. Allow them to dance. Allow them to be free. Like, why do they have to be caged animals? He's not our property. They're not our property. Allow them to live life. Allow them to be free. Allow them to go to the strip club with their friends. As long as you know that they're coming home to you, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Let men be free, because that's how men start to hide stuff. That's why men start to lie. That's why men start to do things behind your back, because they feel caged. Don't let your man feel caged. And then we throw around these passive aggressive slurs and we bash him publicly like, oh, you didn't grow up. You didn't grow up. You didn't grow up. You didn't grow up. And again, I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but I just want to speak on this, this small blemish that I'm seeing. Like, you're expressing the ins and out of the relationship, telling me that Chance isn't growing up, and Chance is no better, because he's just as passive aggressive, where he puts up a clip talking about, okay, well, I'm tired of working on me in this relationship for the past 5 years, however long the marriage is. So it's just like, look, can you guys go to marriage counseling, please? Take this issue off the internet. Go straight to marriage counseling for $300, please. We don't want to see it. We don't want to be a part of it. Matter of fact, we love to see it, but there's no solution for you here. Like, come on, go to marriage counseling, guys, and get off the internet with this stuff. Now, moving on, you guys know Angela Yee has her own thing that she has going on, and on her show, basically, they asked this segment where people call in and they shared their deepest, darkest secrets with Angela Yee and her co-host Mano. So let's see what this man's secret is.
Hello, anonymous caller.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
You want to tell me and Mano a secret?
Yeah. So before me and my wife got married, this was about like 4 or 5 years ago. Long story short, I had sex with her mother.
Mano. And this while you were dating?
What?
While you were dating?
Yeah, I mean, we were together. Like, this is kind of like the first year in. And, you hang out the house or whatever. And when I was over there, like, I always called her mother, like, during that, the thing. So, you know, I pulled up on her ass. I'm like, yo, why you always looking in that area? And she was like, I want to see what it's like.
Ooh, you knocked the mother off.
Yeah.
You are a legend.
Stop it, Mado.
Yeah,
You know they're gonna build schools after you, bro. Name streets after you, brother. You know that, right?
So, how many times did you do it?
Like 3-4 times.
Ooh.
It was good. What can I say?
What is your wife's relationship like with her mom?
They cool. They don't even know. Well, she don't know. Wifey don't know, but I mean.
Okay. And when is the last time you had sex with with your mother-in-law?
I can't comment on that.
Oh, it's still happening. It's still happening.
Yeah, no comment on that.
Man, we talking to a modern day legend, man. We talking to like somebody. I mean, statues will be built.
See, Mano, you have a problem with certain things, but for this guy's a legend.
No, I'm just telling you, like, he's the greatest that ever did it.
It's like the opposite of judgment.
You're the greatest that ever did it, bro.
All right,
cool.
Okay, so just to be clear, Angela Yee's podcast is called Way Up with Yee. That's where I got this clip from. And this man is disgusting. I'm disgusting. No, I'm bad. I'm terrible. No, get rid of him. Him have to go. When me want him do, I want the wife for you listen to the show. I want her for ear so she can find out for the truth. I want when our friend them for you listen to the show. And when the friend listen to the show for ear so she can go tell the wife so the wife can go deal with the mother and deal with Feme case. Because this is absolutely ridiculous. Ain't no way in hell you sleeping with me and my mother. Excuse me, what, sir? Do you understand boundaries? Do you understand limits? Like, are you serious? And I feel like the mom is no better. Like, how can you be a mother who gave birth to your child, and you decided to hurt your child that bad? And it would have been bad, but not too bad if the mother had an estranged relationship with the daughter. The mom doesn't even have an estranged relationship with the daughter. The mom has a good relationship with the daughter, is what the man is saying. No, this is horrible. And I feel like this deplorable ass behavior should not even continue. It should not even be a thing. I feel like what is going on? What is going on God's green earth? Ain't no way. I feel like this is an abomination. You shouldn't do this. I feel like, not to get holier than thou, I just feel like, what are you doing? Both the mother and the husband, and you're not even her boyfriend, you're her husband. So even after sleeping with this woman's mother, knowing what you've done to her, you've decided to now propose to her. And you and the mother are consistently still to this day sleeping with each other, which is telling me that it's more than 3 to 4 times. You're just trying to downplay it? Absolutely not. On to the next subject. I can't deal with this one. So basically, this subject is dealing with Kelly Williams and the backlash the compliments, I should say, that she is getting from men. Kelly Williams the other day said, people always talk about black don't crack, but she feel like that was the worst advice she's ever received, because black essentially do crack. She's like, look, I was hip back in the days, and now I'm not as hip as I used to be. And that had some of her male fans, I should say, leaving her some comments. And let's listen to what Kelly Williams had to say.
The amount of men in my comments talk about, you fat, but I'd still hit, like, thank you. Real confidence booster for me. But please stop sending me pictures of your penises. I don't know if you've seen my video about the long vagina, but I don't like to be surprised by penises. And yeah, I know you do have to tap to unblur, but let me tell you, I don't know what's behind that curtain, and I'm not into it. It doesn't give me the pick me up that I think you guys are meaning for. I think it's a well-meaning dick pic. Okay, is what I'm trying to say. And so, thank you. I think it's like you're trying to be like, you still got it, girl. Let me send you a picture of my penis, right? But I don't. Please stop. Okay, love you, bye.
She's just like, please stop sending me pictures of your pish kadili, of your shish kebab. Stop sending this girl pictures. Like, I remember watching a video a couple of years, and it was essentially how you're talking to a guy and you'd say hi, and then essentially you would get dick pic. You'd say, how's your day? Dick pic. Good night, dick pic. Anything you would say to a man, you would get a dick pic. And I feel like men they need to like ease up with that. I thought like we've outgrown that era of the dick pic, but I guess not. Stop sending Kelly Williams dick pics. She doesn't want it, and it's not the pick me up that you guys think it is. She is quite fine with her black cracking the way that it's cracking without your dick pics. Now I want to say shout out to Kevin Durant for being the third NBA player to sign a lifetime deal with Nike, according to the Shade Room. So, congrats to Kevin Durant on that. Now, let's jump into the next story. Do you guys remember the rumors that have been speculating about Quavo and Chloe Bailey, and they possibly may be dating, maybe not, could be dating? They were seen in the same location with the backgrounds. You know, they were seen out at the club, and then they did this complex interview. So it's like, are these two dating or not? Now they were recently spotted out at a restaurant eating together, and she seemed to be barefaced, not much makeup, not much everything on, like just in her regular flow. So again, for me, people are saying the two are dating. I feel like that they may just be, not like in a relationship, but definitely dating, probably seeing if they like each other, testing out the waters. I don't feel like they would be in a full-blown relationship. For me, I don't think Quavo was in a headspace for a full-blown relationship. I don't think he should jump into a relationship right now, because I still feel like he is healing from the passing of his brother. Takeoff, I feel like you don't just get over that loss so quick. And I'm not saying that he should stop his life because of the passing of Takeoff. I'm just feeling as though it happened and it's still fresh for him, being that you had your soldier next to you all this time, and for him to be gone and then now you're just jumping into a relationship. I feel like jumping into a relationship at this time would just be another way for him to subdue the pain that he's feeling from one thing, to pass it off to another thing, and to alleviate that pain with some kind of romantic feelings that he may or may not have for Chloe. That's just my opinion on that. But it can also be that he is into her. He could be into her. I just feel like he should take it slow, and I feel like Chloe should also take it slow and respect his boundaries, and respect that he did just lose his brother. And I'm calling him his brother. I know they could be cousins or uncles or what the specific biological thing could be between them, but I'm calling them brothers because I feel like they're more so brothers than anything else. Now, do I personally, in my heart of hearts, think they're dating? Yes. I feel like they're getting to know each other and it's in the early stages, but not as amped up as the media would like to paint them out to be. Now, let's talk Verzuz. Everybody has been talking Verzuz, and let's see what Usher has to say about doing a Verzuz with Chris Brown.
But when it comes to Verzuz, Chris Brown, Usher Verzuz. Yep. Would you have done, or would you do something like a Verzuz?
Yo, man, me and Chris will kill the world if we ever did something together like that. I'm not saying it's Verzuz, but right. I'm gonna just say this: if that ever happens, it'll be one of the biggest things that anybody has ever experienced in entertainment, in celebration of two people who love each other. Because I love Chris. I don't like him. I don't like his music. I love his music. I love him. He's my little brother, and he's always been there for me, and I've always been there with him through hard ups and down times. I've been there with him. And, for us to be able to celebrate what we do together, man, that'll be crazy. I'm gonna just leave it there.
All right. So shout out to Usher. I feel like I love the support that Usher gives to Chris Brown. I love Usher's energy. Like, it's so positive. It's not negative. I think people go into verses and it's just like, "Ooh, I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat you." And he's like, "No. Matter of fact, if me and Chris Brown were to do a versus, we would definitely impress the fans, and it would be a legendary thing. A Chris Brown Usher versus, I feel like that would be fair." With "These are my confessions, just when I thought all I could say about that chick on the side." I cannot sing, so let me stop hurting y'all ears. But anyway, I feel like with all that Usher will bring, and with all that Chris Brown will bring to the table, the girls would love it. Me personally, I feel like Chris Brown would win. I do feel like Chris Brown will win. I feel like Chris Brown may have a longer catalog, a better catalog. Maybe not a better catalog, but a longer catalog than Usher. But then again, Usher was putting out music before I was listening to Usher. So who the hell am I to speak? I'm a youngin', so I should probably not be speaking on this. But anyway, we love to see it. We would love to see it. And we would love to see how they're gonna do verses this time around, and how they plan on upgrading verses. They were even speaking of verses, they were speaking about a verses between Nicki Minaj and Little Kim. This is something that has been circulating for a while now, and I remember people saying that Nicki Minaj, it was rumored that Nicki Minaj felt as though Little Kim didn't have the catalog to go up against Nicki Minaj. And I do personally feel like Little Kim doesn't have the catalog to go up against a Nicki Minaj. I feel like whoever goes up against Nicki Minaj has to be a guy. It either would have to be Cardi B or a guy. And that's how I feel about that. But anyway, that's what we have for verses. Moving on to our next topic, Young Thugger Thugger. All right, Young Thugger is in jail, but he is still celebrating Gunna. Now, this had the fans surprised, because we're like, okay, well, didn't Gunna snitch on you? So why are you now supporting him? I feel like maybe he's supporting him because he feels as though, I'm sorry about that. He feels as though he didn't really snitch on him. And isn't he technically still attached to YSL in some way, shape, or form? So Young Thugger has to make his money. But that's not something that I want to get too deep into, because I feel like, hey, that case is just ghetto fabulous. But what I want us to listen to is the Breakfast Club and what Jess Hilarious had to say about the canceling of the Red Table Talk. So 1 second.
Red Table Talk canceled as Facebook Watch ends original programming. Hey. Wow. Red Table Talk, hosted by Jada Pinkett, Willow Smith, and Jada's mother, Adrienne Banfield Norris, has been canceled. They canceled all of their original shows.
Ooh, Meta. Same
whatever.
thing. I thought it was a good show. I thought it did well. Maybe not.
That's Will. Will is behind this. Will says, "Shut that bitch up." It's the last thing I do. Please. I might have to go contact Meta. Okay, Jada Pinkett's production company, who is behind Red Table Talk, is reportedly looking for a new distributor for the series since their deal with Facebook ended. Tubi is wide open. I think Tubi's wide open, and they should just go on over there.
All right. Jess Hilarious is funny. She said Will Smith is probably the one behind it. Like, shut that girl up. Shut that bitch up. She talking too goddamn much. Now, I feel like Red Table Talk, it's one of those shows that you have to be into it. If you're into it, then you're into it. If you're not into it, then you're not into it. I wasn't one of the fans of the Red Table Talk. I wasn't into it. I wasn't into the Facebook shows. There are some people who are into the Facebook shows and they look religiously towards watching it. But as a non-fan, I can say whether it doesn't impact me whether the Red Table Talk is on broadcast or not. I do think she does need to bring, if Jada Pinkett Smith wants a fan base, I feel like she has to rebrand what the Red Table Talk is about. Listen to the criticism that she is getting from people and rebrand it, and also post it on a platform like YouTube, like Netflix, like something different. Rebrand. Go back to the table, scratch it all up, and do something different. I'm not saying Jada Pinkett Smith shouldn't do Red Table Talk. Maybe change even the name. I'm not saying she shouldn't do a TV show, a host with her family. I think she should do one. Just rebrand. Rebrand should be the new terminology that Jada Pinkett Smith keep in her head. But nonetheless, that was the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts and comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the show and the topics. And if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I wanted to let you guys know that I will talk to y'all next time. Laters. Bye.